Who broke this plate? The little boy stood there, trembling, his heart pounding in his chest. I don't know, he whispered, even though his own clumsy hands were the culprits. He knew what happened the last time he admitted a mistake. The stinging slap, the harsh words that echoed for days, the cold silence that felt like a wall between him and his mother. His lie wasn't born from mischief. It was a desperate shield. Later at school, his teacher noticed. "Why do you lie so easily?" she asked, her tone gentle but firm. The boy looked down at his shoes, the words catching in his throat. "Because when I tell the truth at home," he finally said, his voice barely audible, "I get hurt." The teacher's heart sank. In that moment, she understood. The boy's lies were the sign of a bad character. They were a survival skill, a desperate attempt to protect himself from pain. Years went by, and that little boy grew into a man. He found it incredibly hard to be honest in his relationships, not because he wanted to deceive anyone, but because his childhood had wired him to believe that truth equaled punishment. The fear was a ghost that followed him, turning honesty into a terrifying risk. This story reminds us of a powerful lesson. Children learn to lie when telling the truth is unsafe. They build walls of dishonesty to protect their fragile hearts from getting hurt. If this story touched you, please comment with the word SAFE. Let's work together to create homes and environments where truth doesn't bring pain, but understanding and connection. Now, let me tell you about a marriage that looked perfect on the outside. Every social media post was a picture of happiness. Smiling selfies, romantic getaways, and captions full of love. Everyone thought they were the ideal couple. But behind closed doors, a different story was unfolding. The husband, always praised for his ambition, was constantly critical of his wife. "You could do more," he'd say. "Why aren't you as driven as me?" He saw her contentment as a flaw, her quiet nature as a lack of ambition. The wife, who once loved her peaceful life, started to feel small. She tried to change, to match his pace, but it felt like wearing shoes that were 2 sizes too small. The more she tried, the more she lost herself. The constant pressure was like a slow poison, draining the joy from her life and the love from their marriage. Their perfect life was just a carefully curated illusion. This teaches us that forcing our own ambitions and expectations onto our partners doesn't build a stronger relationship. It erodes the very foundation of who they are. True love isn't about molding someone into your ideal, but about celebrating them for who they already are. If you recognize yourself or someone you know in this story, comment support. Let's build relationships based on acceptance, not expectation. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more stories that make you think.